Also, thank you to the Left Behind books for really hitting the tribulation fears home for me. But today we just wanted to give a special shout out to some of the founding fathers, if you will, of our childhood fears.
I just want to thank Final Destination series for giving me so much anxiety as a child and into adult life every time I'm driving, especially on the highway, behind any sort of semi with any sort of goods stacked that could potentially unleash and fall, with special note to big logs that will fly off and impale me and kill me instantly. Thank you for that.
Special thank you to the countless 80s and 90s movies that led me to believe quicksand was real and a relevant threat. I'm so happy that I was able to watch Atreyu's horse be sucked into the muck. I'm delighted to learn that despite his best efforts, nothing could be done to save his horse. I think the best lesson of all was that the more you fight, the more you're going to die. So the moral of the story, when you're getting sucked into hell, you should just go with the flow because your fighting can't save you anyway.
Okay, well, my next thank you letter goes to the war on drug propaganda. Thank you to you and the D.A.R.E program for coming into our schools and scaring the living shit out of us with those weird videos and your little dog, what's it called? Mascot. For making me think that if I try any kind of drug, it's going to lead me to a life of crackhead meth addict on the streets with my face melting, because that's what drugs do to you. They melt your face.
Do you know what those things induced fear in me of? Was that someone was going to plant drugs in my locker and the D.A.R.E dog was going to find drugs in my locker, but they were mine.
That is terrifying. Oh, that D.A.R.E dog. You D.A.R.E dog.
That fear still bubbles up within me every time I go through TSA.
I can see
I don't
that.
have drugs on me. I have nothing on me. But somehow, some way, someone put something in my bag, and now they're going to have to do a cavity search. Sweaty and weird every time I go through fucking TSA, and I'm going to blame the D.A.R.E dog now. My deepest, sincerest gratitude goes to America's Most Wanted for teaching me that a predator might be lurking around every dark corner. I'm so thankful that I was able to watch 45 minutes of television highlighting all the times that law enforcement was unable to apprehend someone, followed by a gruesome description of the heinous crimes that they committed. I'm especially grateful to you for introducing me to BTK. It was really settling to know that I wasn't even safe in my home. As if the moniker bind, torture, and kill wasn't horrifying enough, I'm so glad that I was able to learn about the ways in which he bound up his victims and murdered their entire family in their homes. I'm also so thankful to know that he would hide in the basement and wait for them to come home. I am so eternally thankful to you to learn that a dad and a dog were not enough to keep a home safe, and that he was on the loose with little to no leads. It was fantastic. As a side note, I am also thankful to you for showing me his sketch, which looked like every middle-aged white man.
That's so true. Oh, good days. Good times.
I know John Walsh meant well, but...
My last one is on the same vein, and I would like to personally thank Law and Order. All of the Law and Orders, specifically, I want to shout out you, SVU.
I was going to say the SVU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get copywritten, but we all know the theme song. I believed that at any moment I could also be kidnapped. I'm not going to say the R word, and unalived, because I think I watched every single one of those episodes and I loved them. So thank you. And thank you for instilling this fear in me that I have carried on into my adult life.
My last, but definitely not least, and my absolute most sincerest of thank yous goes to my youth group. For making me think that one day I was going to wake up and find piles of my family's clothes strewn about my house. I am so glad that you instilled a constant fear of wondering if I was in good standing with God every night, so much so that I felt that I needed to say a prayer of contrition every night before I went to bed for years to ensure that I was saved and not left behind. Also, thank you to the Left Behind books for really hitting the tribulation fears home for me. Loved it. I am eternally grateful for the description of the Antichrist and the possibility that he could be any charismatic leader. It was a really great way to instill trust in the government and our elected officials. And I'm also so glad that, as if the adult version of the Left Behind books weren't enough, you made sure to create an accessible version of teen Left Behind books, just to be quite certain that the fear of the end times and the plagues were written at my 7th grade reading level. Series of 20 books, plus or minus 3. Just again, thank you for making sure that anything that may have gone over my head in the adult version hit me square in the eyes for those. Are they still teaching this? Are we still buying kids Left Behind books?
Not that I know of. I will not be.
I'm telling you, there's something about this whole Antichrist fear that has a lot to do with my generalized distrust of the government, along with the BTK drawing, because every middle-aged white male is now associated with a predator. I mean, statistically, that's who it's going to be. But anyway, the point is, thank you to my youth group, to John Walsh of America's Most Wanted, and to the movies of the 80s and 90s. For giving me fears of quicksand, being left behind, of the rapture, the return of Christ, and serial killers on the loose.
All I can think of now is that all of the people in government and our presidents are either the Antichrist or lizard people, and I won't sleep well tonight.
I still hear people say every time we have a popular anyone running for anything that they're the Antichrist. I think I've lived through 10 Antichrists at this point in my life. Along with 10 world endings, 10 different plagues. Mm-hmm. But so far I haven't had to get 666 stamped on my forehead.
We're doing well then over here.
Yeah. The scroll within the scroll and the eye within the eye. I can't.
Oh my God.
So next time a boomer tells you that you have anxiety if you're a millennium, just tell them, fuck you. Because I mean, it's not their fault, but I just do feel the need to thank the boomers because you should not have let us watch some of the TV that we watched.
Nor the news. Turn that shit off.
And on that note, I'm going to go to bed.
I'm going to watch something funny, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us. Please, 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 for the love of God, write a letter to someone and thank them for your childhood fears, and then CC us because I need to know.
Oh, yeah. Or leave a voicemail. I don't know. Do something. Leave a comment.
You can call us and leave us a voicemail. We have all of the ways of getting in touch with us. We'd be happy to read them. To my former, current children of the evangelicals, I see you. I feel you. Let's talk. We're not
pray.
well.
I'm just kidding.
Amen. Okay, my friend, I love you. And until next Saturday, keep up the shitstorm.
Be safe out there. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. They fry your egg like a brain.
Yes.
I mean, they fry your brain like an egg. I tried to push out a fart as we started, but it was inaudible.
Thank you for that.